Hey, it's Jim from the Woodworking Corner. Today we're doing some edge banding. I have this piece here. It's going to be part of a sort of like a little counter thing for a bar nearby. In the past, I've done edge banding with using just a piece of wood like this. It's about a little less than a 1/4 inch thick. Attach it to it, glue it, and then sometimes have to nail it too. I have used this kind of edge banding that we're going to use today. This kind gets glued on, and all you need is an iron. So the way this works is that you're going to take your roll from your edge banding roll, and I'm not sure who came up with the tip, but I did see it. I'm not going to say I invented this because it wasn't my idea. I actually saw it. Is they said take it from the middle, so this way the whole thing doesn't unravel, and this way it's easier to put back when you're done with it. So I'm going to try this tip out and see if it actually works. So you can get yourself a piece of edge banding that's a little bit longer than the piece that you're putting it on. So about that much. And then we're going to clip it. And we'll put the roll away. And yeah, so I guess that trick works. It's nice. And I can put it back in the bag and it doesn't get all wound up. So if anyone knows who came up with that tip, I'd love to hear about it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to apply this to our board, leaving a little overhang on both sides. And all you need is a hot iron, because what happens is once there's glue on the inside, once the glue heats up, it'll stick to your plywood and it'll be there pretty solid. There we go. And just moving slowly and carefully along the board. You want to just make sure there's a little overhang on both sides. I'm going to come back around with a razor and trim that off. Some of the reasons why I'll use edge banding versus this trick of just adding a piece of wood and then gluing it on. If I'm staining the piece, which this piece is going to get stained, I would prefer to do this method. Here's what it looks like. I'll give you a close-up of what it looks like if you have edge banding next to plywood being stained. So nice, clean, and that's the ply right there. So yeah, when I'm staining, I prefer to use edge banding versus this trick here. Now, sometimes the edge banding has a tendency to pull with you while you're ironing. That's why you always leave especially a little overhang on this end. But if it does pull away, you can pull it off and re-glue it. You can probably do it once tops before you may have to use a new piece. Yeah, this is down pretty nice now. Make sure you get the edges nice and done. And we're going to snip that off in a second. The other thing you have to be careful about is glue squeeze out on this sometimes. If you do it too much, it's not so much damaging the wood, but what you could do is you can get it on the bottom of your iron. I know some people maintain their own little iron in the shop. I don't have one, so I just use the one from the house. So I'm going to unplug the iron now, since we're done with that. And then I usually just give it a little bit bend. And it snaps right off. Same thing with this side, just give it a little bend. This one a little bit trickier. Yeah, it's off. And you can also take a little file just round over the edge. Now they make these tools here. I've always had issues working with this tool. The Bandit Edge Trimmer. I don't know if it's because I'm doing it from the wrong side, if you're supposed to pull, or I never get a clean cut from this thing. Actually, that one wasn't too bad. Not too bad on that one either. And using the same file, you just go over, give it a little round over. No. Hopefully this gave you some options for your next woodworking project of using edge banding versus just a little strip of wood. Thanks for watching.